Hello, everybody. Today we have an incredible interview with an incredible individual named Dr. Baker, all about the energy enhancement system. I have a cube right over here, as you can see, and an initiative that she took upon herself, not only to open one of the two right now, if I remember off the top of my head, centers in Michigan. Hers is in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. But in addition to the 24 unit system that she opened to the public, she's also offering free sessions to veterans, which is unbelievable because one of the main things that myself and Dr. Michael really brought forward in the first interview that we did was the importance of helping the veterans heal and bringing that to be accessible and within range and, of course, affordable and accessible to each and every one of them. So, Dr. Baker, I want to say thank you for just all your efforts in stepping forward and making this happen. And thank you for, being one of the first to offer free sessions to veterans. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. First of all, Jason, it's an honor to be speaking with you. We're super excited in all that all these systems have to offer the planet.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'd like for people, your center I know opened on August 11th, just about a month
Yes.
ago. I know that a lot of people have been coming in, the veterans have been coming in, and only good things have I been hearing personally. I want people to know who you are, your background, who's behind this center, who's behind the initiative of offering these free sessions on that monthly basis to these veterans. If you can share a little bit more about yourself to just allow us to connect and relate to you a little bit better.
Certainly, I'd be happy to.
Sure.
27 years ago, we started by founding a school called the Naturopathic Institute of Therapies and Education in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Mount Pleasant is really the center area of Michigan, the Big Mitten. And all those years ago, there was a need for people to understand more about natural health. And I wanted to uh, teach people the great opportunities that I had growing up with a naturopathic doctor within an hour of where I was growing up. And we would go to her farm and have great lessons. So we created this 4-year naturopathic institute for people to become naturopathic doctors. We added a 1-year massage program and eventually added a 6-month doula program or holistic labor companion. And that's been our focus for a number of years. Along the way, many wonderful experiences. We added an herb store and we served the public through other naturopathic doctors and massage therapists. And then we thought, how could we teach health without having a farm or a ranch? So the next thing we added was an organic biodynamic ranch, a nonprofit community center to teach the
Wow.
public. We've been teaching free classes for 27 years to the public. And this ranch has been a beautiful experience. We use sacred geometry. The organic is a wonderful level of farming. We took it up one notch to biodynamic, incorporated the sacred geometry, incorporated permaculture. And that beautiful ranch is next door to where now this Energy Enhancement System Center is located. It's a beautiful old stone church where I went with my grandma when I was a little girl. And eventually that beautiful church became too much for the few remaining people attending it to maintain. So our nonprofit stepped in and fixed up that church, made it into a library and a teaching center for canning and gardening and just a lot of nutrition and food classes. But there it sat. And there had been this pause of, is this really what this location is for? And then, your video came out with Dr. Michael, and instantly, within 45 minutes of hearing about your video, I was able to take a break in the day, watch the video, and I heard that message. That message: we need 1,100 centers, and we want to serve the veterans. And we knew this is what our next step in the development of our organization is. We're going to reach out to the veteran team that already meets in our building. It's called Veterans for USA. And we have to offer exactly what was directed on the video, and that is services to veterans. And if we're going to do it, let's make it free. So 27 years ago, the Institute, eventually the nonprofit center, eventually the store and the services, the garden, the farming, and then this seems to be the final capping piece for the next 27 years and beyond of how we can serve the community. I have to back up just a little bit because in October of 2020, the nonprofit took on a new division called the Embassy of Life Mastery. So in October of 2020, kind of an important date for me, it was my 50th birthday. And I
Okay.
said
You look
to my,
amazing.
thank you. I think that sleeping at the energy enhancement system several nights in a row does a lot for a person. But in that October of 2020, we gathered to launch the Embassy of Life Mastery, which is a 9-year self mastery program. The first 3 years, you focus on healing and working on yourself. Should you choose to go on another 3 years, your focus is on community. How do we rebuild the communities of the world? How do we come back to that village and small town and then take that small town mentality to the larger cities and help people become neighbors again?
Yep.
Help them bring in nutrition, help them bring in healing, help them bring in a balanced social look at how we serve each other. Should a person be asked to come back for the next or the final 3 years, the years 7, 8, and 9, they are working on a planetary scale, much like what you're doing, Jason. We're reaching out around the world and saying, what practices do you have in agriculture, in serving the elders, in helping with health? What are you doing? And can we learn your concept, bring it back home? And would you like to learn some of the things that we're doing successfully? So that's what the Embassy of Life Mastery is about. And the Embassy of Life Mastery is what houses the beautiful energy enhancement system because it's a
Wow.
perfect match.
So you have a lot of things being integrated in one place that kind of complement each other.
Absolutely.
And you've been
Absolutely.
doing this for 27 years
27 years so far.
so far. I like that. I like that a lot. That's amazing. Can I ask you, what kind of results have you been seeing over the past month? If you could share some like testimonials or experiences from other
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to, Jason. This is the most exciting part. Of course, when people come or they call on the phone or they're writing, they're saying, are you actually seeing changes for people? And we were prepared to tell people to be patient. Health and change takes time. But it has been 3 weeks of one miracle after another, quite honestly. We have so many great things. So I'd like to address what people are noticing in general.
Sure.
And the first one's going to make you laugh. Because I've studied health for so long, because we understand so much about meridians and how the body works, to see people come in, and we do ask them to be hydrated ahead of time. What we're noticing is the first part of the body to receive that millivoltage charge is the same first part of the body in the womb that builds that charge, and that's the urinary system, the kidney. So we're
Oh,
finding
wow.
it funny that people will encourage them, please use the restroom before you begin your session, of course. And within 45 minutes to an hour, they're sneaking out saying, I can't believe I have to use the restroom. And so we're seeing the kidneys turn on. And that's exciting to me because as the kidneys are turning on, we know the energy, the chi of the body is being reestablished. The kidneys, to me, and I want to ask this question, Dr. Michael, of course, as well, is do you find that the kidneys, once they start up, then the energy moves throughout the body? Because it seems to me that people are getting some very significant changes in the urinary system in a positive way. We're seeing people sleep who have not been able to sleep more than an hour at a time. Jason, many people sleep an hour and then they wake up and they sleep an hour and they wake up at best.
Yeah.
So one of the first exciting things was 4 different people have said, I do not sleep. I've never slept well in the last 10, 15 years. And they're sleeping 4 hours at a time after just one session in the
Wow.
energy enhancement system.
How long
So,
would you say one session? Are you talking a few hours?
so 2 of the people had 2-hour sessions and immediately began sleeping. 2 other people had 4-hour sessions and immediately began sleeping. So that was impressive.
Mhm.
Anxiety down quite significantly. A lot of reports about pain. Now, this is interesting. They will come in, they'll get in our really comfortable recliners, and an old pain that they hadn't paid much attention to recently seems to resurface for 5 to 10 minutes and then dissipate. And then they begin to realize when they report back to us that they had gotten so used to the pain. Now that it's gone, they didn't even realize how much pain they were in. So, and then people come in saying, look, I'm in a lot of pain. And after a 4-hour session, they're leaving without pain. After a 2-hour session, they're significantly reduced. Now, I can't say that's true for everybody across the board. Some folks, as we all know, may need a few more sessions. And we have this idea that we're pushing for what we call the 20-hour base. And I think this is really important for people to understand. If you can get in the shortest amount of time, the longest number of sessions within your budget and within how far you're traveling, then it would be great for you to work towards 20 hours. We find when people hit that 20-hour mark, the cellular voltage is coming up enough that they are noticing more significant changes. And that's the number one question I think we get asked is how often should I come in for how long? And beautiful Dr. Michael, she says, as much as you can. And of course I agree. But how do you say that to someone who's driving 4 hours, 6 hours? Or how do you say that to someone who's saying, uh, how do I work this in to my budget? And so I think 20-hour base is what we're encouraging people, and then build from there until you are at the health level that you need. But again, you must hydrate, you must eat well, you must do your breathing, you must detoxify these chemicals that we're exposed to every day. And I have to tell you about Russ, Jason. Russ is, I told him, I'm going to be talking about you. Let me take a picture of you. So I will share a picture with you in the future. So Russ is a veteran,
Okay.
and he came in on our free Veterans Day. And to be quite honest, and Russ, if you're listening, you didn't want to make eye contact with me, and he kind of tucked his head down and he shuffled along with his walker. And his beautiful wife Cheryl was there encouraging him. And when he came out, he lifted up his head and he looked at me and we had a small conversation. So when he had come for his fourth time, he had been there 3 times for 4 hours. So he had accomplished what we call 12 hours at this point.
Mhm.
Russ, who had not moved his hand, his right arm, since his stroke 12 years ago, was able to lift his arm all
Wow.
the way up to the side, hadn't touched his face in 3 years. And I said, show me. And he took his hand and touched the tip of his nose. And he gives me all kinds of fuss, and we go back and forth in conversation because beautiful Russ, you're so alive and you're so animated and you're so hopeful. And so we do see them weekly. He's improving every time we see him. And I just think that's encouragement for anybody listening is you can get well. The things that we thought you hit a certain age or you've had this problem for so many seasons, is there really any hope of doing better? And Russ is a perfect example of, yeah, you can do incredibly well. So I think he's my favorite story at this time.
That's amazing. I'd love to come out and actually visit your center at some point and make it a point to visit yours and a few others in that area because the stories that I'm hearing, again, the reason why I stand behind this is because of certain things that I've seen, observations that I've seen, experiences that I've had. Just yesterday, actually, I slept at a friend's system. It's a private one. It's actually 32 screens. And I go there whenever I'm just like, I'm breaking down and I need some help. And thank God I don't have any like physical ailments or diseases that I have to work on or cure. But when it comes to my level of energy, everything changes every time I leave there. And I sleep like a doll. I sleep like a baby. And I get out of there. And of course, I do the salt baths and I drink my very, very big, gallon of water over here. And I continuously hydrate throughout that whole process and watch the diet. Because again, for anybody that's watching this and has questions, I want to really emphasize the fact that this is a protocol. There's a protocol over here of certain things that you do. And I call it holistic healing. I never understood why in holistic healing there is no W. It just starts with an H. It should be with a W because the opposite of holism is reductionism. And Western medicine generally works according to reductionism, and Eastern medicine or real ways of alternative. It's not alternative, but you know what I mean? That takes the entire body and the big picture into consideration. It's just unbelievable. I knew that when I was standing behind this and putting this out to the world, that yes, I had my own experiences, but there was always this piece of me that's saying, well, is everybody else going to experience the same thing? What's going to happen? What if they don't? And not only has the answer been yes, but even better than I could have imagined, because you're seeing, again, what I'm about to share, I don't want this to come off as a medical claim. I'm just sharing as an experience and observation, but I've been seeing people that are, stage 4 breast cancer that in a matter of weeks, granted constant sleeping and doing a few other things in the mix, in a matter of weeks, you're seeing remissions and reversals. And again, just an observation. It's just a testimonial on their behalf that they're able to share. And, in the beginning, when it first started, I'm like, maybe this is just too good to be true.
Sure.
But too good to be true can only happen when it happens to 1 or 2 people. When things start happening to thousands and you see repetitive cycles happening, there's something going on here, and it's something that I am just hearing the stories with you and the veterans. and everything that you're doing, in addition to the energy enhancement system in your center is beautiful. And specifically when it comes to the veterans, I really hope that people listen to this interview and listen to your passion and everything that you're doing and are inspired to do the same, because I feel that if we can start offering whatever we can to help everybody around us. I was just reading a book last night about Kabbalah, and it explains how there is no you. We're all in the same boat here. It gave a story of how two people are sitting in the same boat, and one person is drilling a hole in his part of the boat. And the other person on the boat says, "What are you doing? Why are you drilling that hole?" And the guy says, "No, it's just under my seat." And he forgot that they're sitting in the same boat. So the exact opposite is true. When we help one, we help all. And if one's sick, we're all sick. And that's the power that I'm seeing over here with your center, with everybody else that's stepping up. And all I can say, Dr. Baker, is thank you for doing what you're doing and stepping up so quickly. You made that call. I remember a few months ago, I think it was in June, and you were like, "Jason, I'm ready. Let's go. Tell me exactly what I need to do." And those are the people that we're looking for right now to just move forward and bring this. We do not have time to waste in the world that we're living in right now. And I really do believe it's time to heal. So yourself and many others like yourself are stepping up to the table and making this happen. And I really just want to say thank you.
Oh, it's an honor. It's an honor. And, we're learning there's so much to running an energy enhancement center. There's all these unique little things. And I hope in time that we have opportunity again to share, maybe from a perspective, because we receive so many people who are interested in doing this themselves. And there's definitely an art and a way to do it. And Jason, if we could, I'd like to explain what our veterans program is. Is this a good time to share that? Okay, fabulous. So we are working with a local organization to our central Michigan area, where this beautiful man, Mike Rogers, said, I can't, a veteran himself, I don't want to see homeless veterans. We have to help. And so he created this beautiful organization. He has several wonderful helpers. And during the times where we were told we couldn't meet in certain buildings and whatnot, the Institute opened our doors immediately to Mike and said, "Meet at our location. We want you to have a place where you can gather and just create the plans and the fundraisers that you need to help these people." So when I heard Dr. Michaels and you on the first video talk about that, I said, here we already have a beautiful veterans organization. I reached out to Mike of Veterans for the number 4 USA and said, "We're going to work together. Would you receive this?" And he was very, very excited. So one day a month, people go through Mike at Veterans for USA through his Facebook site and contact him, and he makes all the reservations for that day. So one day a month, we are completely free to veterans. Now, if a veteran cannot make that particular day and they reach out to us at the Embassy of Life Mastery, we give them their first appointment free, and any appointment after that for half off if they're not using our Veterans Day. So free first appointment, 2 to 4 hour appointment. Every appointment after that, sleepovers, whatever they are, always half off for life. And they say, "I don't understand that. Do you mean this? You mean every time?" Yes, every time you come, it's half off. But please use the Veterans Day because that's always free. And I said to Mike, as we're starting to fill these Veterans Days, even more so to capacity, because we can seat 36 people. Mike, if you get full, do not turn a veteran down. We'll just give you another free day to meet. So in time, we see ourselves having 2 or 3 days a month that are completely for our beautiful veterans and thanking them for their service. And we've seen younger veterans, we've seen older veterans. They have so much more energy. They look younger. They're walking differently. They're walking without pain. They're sleeping better. Their anxiety is down. For some of our younger veterans, it takes courage to come in and close your eyes in a group setting and just rest, because oftentimes the PTSD says you can't rest, you're not safe. So our beautiful manager is a vet as well. That's Robert Shelley. And being a former veteran and being a medic, he stands at the door so that they know they can rest and sleep. Someone is on guard, if you will, at the doorway, telling these beautiful veterans, rest, you're safe. And we're getting such amazing results. And veterans are coming to us from all over the country. Wow. We have a veteran flying in from Washington, the state of Washington, because he has family here. But he said, "Are you telling me you're going to give this to me for free? And I can bring my veteran friends. I can bring my whole squad." Yes, you can. So the outreach is amazing, and the results are even beyond that. So that is our veterans program currently. We also do a free day a month for our first responders. We feel that's also important. Those are
Ah,
our warriors locally and right on the front lines around us. So that's a part of our
you
service as
know,
well.
the current medical system, if you want to call it that, I don't like calling it
Sure.
protocol. The current medical system is notorious for not taking care of the people that protect this country, the veterans.
Mhm.
And if they won't, then we will. And that's exactly what's happening here. And you're
Perfect.
you're you're making that happen. And that's, I mean, that's what I believe this new paradigm looks like. It's okay, you're not going to do it, I will. They're not going to
Right.
do it, we will. And we're here to take care of each other. And if we take care of each other, again, back to that analogy that I gave earlier, we're taking care of ourselves also. To benefit somebody else is to benefit us because we're one and the same in that. So when it does come to the veteran program, where can people or veterans that are watching this right now actually sign up for that? Is there a link that I can share and I could put it in the description below?
Well, we'd love to. So it is, you're right. It's about community, common unity, and we have to rebuild that community. So if a veteran wants to reach out to us, we can put them in contact with Veterans for the number 4 USA. Veterans for USA is a Facebook site where Mike Rogers runs that. They can also go to our email or our website.
Right?
So our website is www.elmastery.org. And there you can see our email, contact at yalemastery.org as well, and our phone number.
Awesome.
So our
I'm going to share all this as well. Everything will
fabulous.
be in the link in the description below for anybody that does want to
Great.
go check out this amazing center, whether you're a veteran or not. Definitely go support it because the work of Dr. Baker is, I'm sure, going to inspire more people to do the same, which is what we're looking for here. So in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, 5410 South Vandiker Road. Is that how I pronounce it?
Vandekar, you've got it. You've got
Awesome.
it.
And Dr. Baker is your contact, the incredible woman on this interview right now. That's the phone number, the email, and I will put the website below as well in the description below for anybody who wants to reach out. And again, if you're a veteran, make sure to use this opportunity because it's here to help you. We all are.
Please. And our organization is nonprofit. So please come participate and help build a community around the world that serves all in need.
Awesome. Dr. Baker, can I ask you, is there any last closing message? I always like to close with an inspirational message for anybody that I speak with or interview. Is there any closing message that you'd like to share with humanity at this time?
Wow, what a great opportunity. Thank you, Jason. I want to say this. The most important aspect of healing is hope. And if you're listening to this interview, know that technology, which has been there waiting for us to awaken to it, is available. And in that beautiful technology, there is hope. And hope will bring you to a center somewhere on this beautiful planet. And at that center, you will be charged up and energized so that your beautiful body can heal itself. Thank you, Dr. Michael, for your beautiful invention and your courage. And all you all need is some hope and to arrive and do your work because you can get well.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. And thank you, everybody that's listening to this interview. I ask you, please share it far and wide. You never know who it can help. And I promise you it will help somebody one way or another. If you do want to find Dr. Baker's center or any other centers around you, anywhere around the world, because it's expanding rapidly, you go to unifiedhealing.com, you go to that locations tab, you will see this map. More centers are being added every single day. We're already in other continents, other countries, Canada, the United States, Sweden, soon to be Australia, Israel, and a few other places that we're working on as well. And over here, you'll see who's open, who's coming soon, who has overnight stays, and who's coming soon internationally. So make sure to check it out. You could sign up to our newsletter just for updates on what centers are doing, just like we sent a couple of weeks ago about Dr. Baker's center with what she's doing with the veterans and so much more. So make sure to check out that newsletter. It's all free, doesn't cost $1 to anybody, and it's all for the purposes of raising awareness for this network around the world, for this technology all around the world, and ultimately to help humanity heal itself, because that's what we are here to do. So again, Dr. Baker, thank you. And thank you, everybody that's tuned into this. Share this far and wide. And I love you all. I'm wishing you all a beautiful day.